is Mary again from the Magic Apothecary, coming to you from Brooklyn, New York on my podcast. Here today to talk to you about love and romance and sex. Not to talk to you about those things, but to talk to you about how to make them happen in a better way for you in your life in many, many ways. In these podcasts, I try to combine medicinal herbal work, as well as aromatherapy, as well as magical, meditative, and traditional work on these processes. Last time I spoke to you guys, I spoke to you about echinacea, and I chose to do that because we were in the middle of the winter and the change of season before Ostara. So also now we're on our way to Beltane. Within a few days, it's Beltane, and I'm actually talking to you today on a full moon in Scorpio with an eclipse on purpose, so I can get this right. I know that the energies from that moon is going to make this right for us all. So I thought I'd start telling you who I am. I'm Mary Elizabeth McCurry. I run the Magic Apothecary. It's a one-of-a-kind, create for yourself through me, magical items from every form you can imagine, from incenses to oil blends to candles to spell kits, baths, incense, all natural, all organic, all sustainable, all wonderfully artisanal, chunky, funky, and real. So if you're interested in that work, you can check me out at themagicapothecary.com. It's www.magic, MAGIC, themagicapothecary.com. Or you can give me a call at 347-492-0534, or you can write me an email at themagicalapothecary@gmail.com. I'll spell that. It's the magical, MAGICALAPOTHECARY.com. So there's all that. So it's almost Beltane, and today we have a full moon in Scorpio. Now, it doesn't matter really which full moon you're working on. It doesn't really matter if it's in Scorpio. It doesn't really matter if the moon is dark. Love magic can happen anytime. What I'm going to start with today is not so much love magic, although this will be a series of talks on love magic, aphrodisia, and things of that nature. What I'm going to start with today, though, is a little bit of medicinal herbal work. I feel like it's important to talk about because it's not as well known in the pagan community, maybe. Herbs in their medicinal format. And as witches and pagans, it's important that we understand that the goddess has provided for us tons of ways to heal ourselves, prevent illness, and to get healthy, through her own bounty and gifts of the earth. Not saying that we need to substitute allopathic or traditional medicines. Hospitals, good doctors, all good places. There's a place for everything in medicine. However, there are ways to also help yourself medicinally, and in this case, we're talking about aphrodisiacs. Now, certainly, it's a well-known fact that there is really nothing that can be called a total aphrodisiac. I'm sure people have heard stories about oysters or different kinds of roots adding to potency for men or women, but really, a lot of the things that I'm going to mention today are not things to stimulate the genitals or the sexual drive or response, but more about adding some energy to the body systems that help us to feel sexual. Okay, so I say to you very clearly before you start anything that is medicinal, whether it be herbal or aromatherapy or massage or anything that might have something medicinal in it. Before you put anything into or onto your body, check with your doctor if you are on any medication. Be very cautious if you have any sort of allergies to anything herbal or flower or whatever. So these things I will mention as I go along and let you know when to be careful. So aphrodisiac, what does that mean? Aphrodite, right? The goddess of love. The goddess of love and beauty and sex. Well, these things are supposed to bring in the energy of Aphrodite, aphrodisia. And these things will work, many of them, for one sex or the other, sometimes, and sometimes for both. So we'll start with one that really is good for everybody, and not everybody, but can be used by both sexes to increase the body energy, and that is ginseng. there are different types of ginseng. There's American ginseng, there's Siberian ginseng, and then there's Asian ginseng. All of them help to add qi, help to add energy into the body in many different ways, in many different forms. However, it's one of those things that revitalize and give you a little strength. You know, it's sort of like a healthy Red Bull. So that could be something you might want to start with if you feel like your libido is a little lagging, especially at this time of the year when things have just changed over to the growing season. People are a little tired, a little overwhelmed. So ginseng, if you can tolerate that, and if you are in a state where your body will accept that, maybe something you'd want to try. I would prefer if you think about it in its natural form and get some root. You can buy those things online. Make sure that they are authentic. Places like Star West Botanicals and Rose Mountain Herbs, or Mountain Rose Herbs online can aid in finding the most organic, good, high quality thing you can find. There are also local growers, and I just met one recently, and they're setting up a website. As soon as that's available, I'll talk to you guys about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So horny goat weed is the next one. I know it sounds funny. Horny goats. Well, people noticed in the past that their goats were chewing on a little bit of grass, and that weed made them horny. Ha! Thus, horny goat weed. It's actually an Asian herb, a Chinese herb, which has a different name, but we won't find it necessarily under the Chinese name, so I'll just tell you it's horny goat weed, and that can be bought online as well in bulk and as an herb. Sometimes you can find it in pills. You can take a tea. You can use it in a lot of different ways. However, horny goat weed can be considered a vasodilator, which what it does is bring blood all over the body. It opens the vasosystem, the circulatory system, and it moves blood to places that they weren't getting. So if you have high blood pressure, if you're on blood pressure medication, or if you have any kind of beta blocker, it's already a vasodilator, any kind of vasodilator, aspirin therapy, if you're on any kind of a blood thinner, stay away from horny goat weed unless you discuss it with your doctor. So you can make an infusion of horny goat weed. You can just make an overnight tea, and I'm going to discuss how to do that in a future broadcast. So if you want to find out about how to make an infusion online, you can do that by Googling how to make an herbal infusion. There's tons of videos on YouTube, but I'll talk you through it as well in a future part of this series on love and lust. So horny goat weed can be made into an infusion, as can ginseng, or tea, as can ginseng, or it can be taken in powdered format, and it can be taken on a daily basis to increase libido over a long period of time. And this goes for men and women. Or you can try to take it just before a sexual act and see if it enhances your feeling. I have tried this, and not for myself, but I have done this with a partner, and they report that they feel a lot more tingling in the genital area. So a lot more blood flow, like it was an arm that fell asleep that was coming back to life. So that's not, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the blood flow was there. I can report for a fact that it worked. So there is that. Also, remember, with all aphrodisiacs, or things that are called aphrodisiacs, it's really the mind that adds to the sexual act more than anything else. So relaxing and being comfortable with your partner in a relaxed and romantic, if you need that atmosphere, is one of your best bets. Horny goat weed can be taken by men and by women. Okay. L-arginine. This is a vitamin, or not a vitamin. It's an amino acid. So a lot of people take L-arginine. It also helps to vasodilate. It helps to give strength to the body. You can look that up. L-arginine, A-R-G-I-N-I-N-E. So that could be part of your way of revitalizing your body using amino acids as a way to do that. Here's the one that's like the biggest one everybody knows about. It's called Damiana, D-A-M-I-A-N-A. I will be, in the next podcast, discussing how these things correlate to magic. But for now, we're just doing medicine for these 10 minutes or 15 minutes here. So Damiana, it's a Mexican herb, and it's also native to the southern United States. And it's been widely used as an aphrodisiac for men and women for a long time, centuries. What Damiana actually is a sort of relaxant. It works in the same way that marijuana works. very similar to cannabis in its way of opening up the mind, relaxing the body so that you can feel sexual. Okay, so that is how that works. And I've tried, it's pleasant and it does work. It makes you relax. It's like having a very good drink, a nice drink, and it makes you open up to romance and love in a nice way. It's not very strong, but it is very helpful. There are other types of Chinese herbs, and if you're interested in those, I suggest you start to research that online or find a great Chinese herbalist. In New York City, of course, we're blessed in that we have 2 Chinatowns. We have one in the Lower East Side in Manhattan, and we have one in Brooklyn on 8th Avenue. So there are plenty of places. If you do speak Chinese or you have a friend who does, you can go and check out herbal shops, or you can find out information about Chinese herbs through your acupuncturist, your massage therapists, and many other health practitioners, including herbalists. If you're interested in information on those things, give me a call and I will try to point you in the right direction as far as Chinese herbs. I am not an expert in Chinese herbs, but I can help you find people that are. Okay, so also there's something called maca. Ancient Incan warriors took maca before going off to battle to make them physically strong. They were prohibited by taking it to protect women from the heightened libidos, you see. So supposedly maca was taken by these warriors, but they didn't fight because they were too horny to do it. So maybe maca, it works. I have not tried maca, M-A-C-A. If anyone out there has or will or does, please let me know how it works. I'd like to know how strong a libido can get so that men were prohibited from taking it. That's pretty interesting. So those are some ideas. Also, some ideas, or if you know, for aphrodisiacs, are famous foods like oysters and things along those lines. Take a look online on a Google search and look up aphrodisiacs and see if you can't find something that's natural, herbal, even food based that you can actually use. Excuse me. And if you do, give me a call. If it's something different and something I haven't discussed here, get back to me. I'm going to throw a few more things out at you that may help. There's something called ashwagandha. It's A-S-H-W-A-G-A-N-D-H-A. That's an herb, and that's also used to fortify the body. It gives strength to the chi, to the center of the body, to the jing, center of the body, giving power and passion to the body in general, waking up the body and giving it more strength. So anything that does that will give you a stronger libido. If you're weak or not feeling well or overwhelmed with stress, and your adrenal glands are really stressed to the maximum, you're not going to respond the same way sexually as you would if you were strengthened. Remember how that feels when you're young and full of vitality, how the spring would make your, quote, sap flow. Anyway, also, you can add things to your diet like garlic, ginger. You can use things like ginkgo biloba, which is well-known medication people take for the mind, for the memory, for opening up the blood vessels of the brain. Well, it opens up the blood vessels of the rest of the body as well. So that's just some of them. I'm going to add more of them on as we go, and I don't want to give too many in one podcast. So that's some ideas for aphrodisiacs. Next podcast, I'll talk to you about a few more of these medicinal ideas, and then I will talk to you a little bit about how they correlate to magic. Then we're going to talk about how to create products for yourself, how to make an oil, a massage oil that's edible, sexy, and full of aphrodisiacs and magical seduction herbs, how to call up Aphrodite and Adonis and bring them into your bedroom, how to make yourself more beautiful on the outside and the inside. I am also a cosmetologist and I'm an aromatherapist, I'm an herbalist, and I'm a witch. So I have all this great information to pass on to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. In the background, you're listening to Andrea Bocelli, his beautiful album called Romanza, which I recommend if you want a really great romantic feeling in your home. Light some candles. If you can drink, have a glass of wine. Celebrate this full moon tonight if you're around it, or celebrate Beltane and enjoy your body. Get out in the air, walk, make yourself beautiful, take baths. Put flowers in your bath. Pick fresh flowers that are growing outside and strew those petals into your bath. Create a bath oil with a beautiful organic essential oil. And I will be talking about a wonderful company and a great provider of essential oils in the next couple of podcasts. And so that you can buy these beautiful oils, mix them in your salts, put them in your bath, use them as aromatherapy. light candles dabbed with aromatherapy. Think roses, think jasmine, think neroli. Think about beautiful sweet scents surrounding you. Those are ideas as well. Blessings. May the god and goddess enforce your sex life. May some of these ideas spark some romance and some hot sex. And I'll speak to you soon. Bright blessings. This is Mary Macari, the Magic Apothecary. Speak to you soon. Bye.